John Gill, Revelations chapter 6, verse 1. Exposition of the entire Bible, being read by Dr. Peter John. Scripture, quote, "And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals," unquote. John Gill, quote, "Of the sealed book, one of the 7 seals of it, as read the Alexandrian copy, the Vulgate Latin, and the Oriental versions, and the compulsion edition, that is, the first. So, quote, 1, unquote, is used for first in Genesis 1:5, as it appears from the following seals being called second, third, fourth, etc. These seals express events to be fulfilled, and therefore cannot respect the steps towards and the signs of Jerusalem's destruction, and that itself, which had been accomplished some years before the visions of the seals, and which vision would have been needless. These are called seals because they were sealed among God's treasure, or were resolved on and decreed by him, and because they were hidden and unknown till they came to pass, and when they were come to pass, they were pledges of what God would do in the destruction of Rome papal, as here is the destruction of Rome pagan. For these seals, at least the first 6 of them, concerning the pagan empire and the state of the church in it, and are so many gradual steps to the ruin of it, and to the advancing and increasing of the kingdom of Christ. And these, with the 7 trumpets, which the last seal introduces, reach from the times of the apostles to the end of time, as appears from Revelation chapter 10, verse 6. Now the opening of these seals is the revealing of the events signified by them, and expressed in the hieroglyphics here made use of, and fulfillment of them, unquote. Scripture, quote, "And I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder," unquote. John Gill, quote, "A voice very loud and sensuous, exciting the attention of John," unquote. Scripture, quote, "One of the 4 beasts saying, 'Come and see,'" unquote. John Gill, quote, "This was of the 4 living creatures, for the word 'one' is used in the same sense as in the foregoing clause. And this creature was like to a lion." Revelation chapter 4, verse 7. "Wherefore his voice was loud, as when a lion roars." Revelation chapter 10, verse 3. And is fitly compared to thunder. There is no need to look out for any particular person as intended by this living creature, or to conclude him to be Peter as Grotius, who was dead before the seal was opened, or Quadrus, or Justin Martyrs, who courageously appeared in the Christian cause and made very excellent apologies for it with success. Since these lived under the 2nd seal, it is enough in general to understand the ministers of the gospel, who, as sons of thunder, loudly and publicly preached the gospel, and as lions boldly and bravely defended and took notice of the power and providence of God in succeeding their ministry and in weakening the kingdom of Satan and the Gentile world, and particularly in the Roman Empire, and therefore are represented as calling to John to come and see. Observe and take notice the following hieroglyphics representing the state of the gospel ministry. "Come and see" is a phrase often used by the Jews to stir up attention to what is about to be said. See Gill on John 1, verse 46. End of Revelation chapter 6, verse 1.